So one of my favourite videos that I made last year was a read and vlog where I read the books that you recommended from my own TBR, and I'd really love to do the same again this year. However, in order to do that, I need to film an updated owned TBR video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be taking you through all of the books that I own that I haven't read yet, and as we go, if you see any books that you would recommend or that you'd like to see me read, then please let me know in the comments, and yeah, I might end up reading those books for that reading vlog this year. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get round to filming that reading vlog, but I'd like to turn it into a series if I have enough recommendations. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know how many books are on my TBR. I reckon there's around 150, but I'm pretty sure I said the same thing last year and it turned out there was way more than 150, so we're going to count as we go. Well, I'm not going to count. Editing me is going to count and put a counter on the screen so you can see. My goal this year is to try and get my own TBR below 100, but we'll see if that's actually going to be possible once I finished this video. But yeah, I'm going to get stuck into it, I think. I'm not going to tell you much about these books. I'm literally just going to hold them up and then show you the cover and tell you the title and the author. Also, I share bookshelves with my partner, so some of his books I am interested in, but I don't count them towards my TBR because they've already been read and that's just too much. Okay, so we're going to start off with an entire box set. Well, not quite an entire box set because I have read the first book, but we have Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, because yes, I have owned this box set for 3 years now and I've still only read the first book. A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, The Book of Eve by Meg Clothier, Mindwalker by Kate Dillon, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, The City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky, Talon Sister by Jen Williams, Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs, House of Marion by J.L., Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chapeko, Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adehi Brenya, A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, A Master of Jin by P. Shelley Clark, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, Pantomime, Shadow Play and Masquerade by L.R. Lamb, Way of the Argosy by Sebastian D. Castell, Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, Rabbits by Terry Miles, Bullet Train by Kotaro Isaka, The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve-Dew, Ford County by John Grisham, Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, My Mechanical Romance by Alexine Farrell Falmouth. This has just reminded me that I also have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake somewhere, but I can't find it. The Atlas 6 and The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake, Six Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim, The Final Strife and The Battle Drum by Sarah Al-Arifi. I can't remember if I bought this one or my partner did, but I also have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, White Cat Black Dog by Kelly Link, Little Prisons by Iona Bannister, Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie Mortimer, American Royals by Catherine McGee, Freshwater by Akweke Emeze, Girl Woman Other by Bernardine Evaristo, Detransition Baby by Tori Peters, The Goodbye Cat by Hiro Arakawa, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, and Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mendel. Oop. Okay, so I'm now going to run through my digital TBR. I'm going to move over a little bit actually so I can put the screen recording here, but I know that most of my unread books are on my Kindle, so it makes sense to include them as part of my overall TBR. If you do see me skip any books in this section, it's either because I've already read them and my phone just hasn't updated yet, or it's because I got them through KU and I don't count Kindle Unlimited as part of my overall TBR. But first on the list is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, Violetta by Isabel Allende, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayra, A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTurnan, An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, which is an arc that I have through NetGalley, You Again by Kate Goldbeck, Godkiller by Hannah Kana, Wild Things by Laura Kay, Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, Sing Wild Birds Sing by Jacqueline O'Mahony, Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng, When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill, The Life She Wanted by Anita Abriel, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura, The Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale, Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palprato, My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfig, The Bookshop and the Barbarian by Morgan Stang, Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese, The Fires by Sigridur Haglagen Bjornsdottir, Night Angels by Wyna Dye Randall, My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Backman, Pestilence by Laura Thalassa, The Defence, The Plea, The Devil's Advocate and The Accomplice by Steve Kavanagh, Us Against You by Frederick Backman, The Quarry Girls by Jess Lowry, The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb, A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, which I've already mentioned because I also have the hardback, A Shadow in the Ember and The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Reputation by Lex Croucher, The Flames of Albion by Jean Menzies, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, Broken Summer by J.M. Lee, Hope to Die by Cara Hunter, Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy, West Side Love Story by Priscilla Olivares, The Witcher by Andrei Sapkowski, The Lies of Loch Lamora and Red Sea Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, Red Rising by Pierce Brown, North to Paradise by Usman Umar, A Train to Moscow by Elena Gorakova, The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, Master of Sorrows by Justin Call, A Memory Called Empire by Arcadia Martin, Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerry Maniscalco, Iron Widow by Zoran J. Zhao, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor, Traitor's Blade by Sebastian D. Castell, The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, The Couple by Helly Acton, The Appeal by Janice Hallett, The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, I Have Always Been Me by Precious Brady Davis, The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare, Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri, The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, A Deadly Influence by Mike Omer, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, Wolf by Ryan Groudon, Confessions of a Curious Bookseller by Elizabeth Green, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, Dominicana by Angie Cruz, China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan, I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes, Opium and Absinthe by Lydia Kang, Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield, Mixtape by Jane Sanderson, The Prison Doctor by Dr. Amanda Brown, When I Was You by Minka Kent, Why Mummy Swears by Gil Sims, Three Women by Lisa Tadeo, Friend Request by Laura Marshall, The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, The Girl in the Ice by Robert Brinzer, The Bees by Laylene Paul, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, Poldark by Winston Graham, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, The 39 Steps by John Buchan, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, The Secret Garden by Francis Hodgson Burnett, and then finally Emma, Persuasion and Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I also just realised I have a couple of classics down here. So we have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. So those are all the books that are on my official TBR at the start of 2024. I will have the final number on the screen here so you can see. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations for me or if there's any particular books that you'd like to see me read in that vlog. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, but otherwise I will see you next time. Bye!